All right, to set the bar low, this is gonna go better than Mardu Pyromancer just went. All right, this hand's pretty good. We've got a Jeskai Ascendancy in the opener. We've got a Sleight of Hand, so we're looking for a mana creature. So the goal is to put a mana creature into play, and then put a Jeskai Ascendancy into play, and then attack with your opponent a bunch. Chat always votes yes for the beeves. All right, so discard decks are harder matchups for this deck. We're not just dead to them, but they're gonna have us. They're gonna be a little bit difficult to play through. We have 4 copies of Leyline of Sanctity in our sideboard for these matchups. Yeah, definitely. Always happy to damage people's cardboard. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna play. You know what? Maybe I should have fetched Breeding Pool there, so that way I could put this into play tap next turn. So this is probably dead. And I'm sure after we just got dumpstered playing Mardu Pyromancer, our opponent playing it's about to body us. I guess they could be Jund still. But we'll see. Stream Decker, thank you. Street Wraith. Okay. This deck is already in my deck list. Yep. Sorry, Stream Decker takes forever to update when I'm... Oh, are they playing 4-color Pyromancer, maybe? Could be 4-color Pyromancer. It takes Stream Decker a minute to update, because I have to go manually find the old Ascendancy deck list. The next stretch goal involved Matt. That's a Glittering Wish. Okay, I'm just gonna cast this Glittering Wish here. We'll go get an Ascendancy. They have another discard spell. Yep, yeah, I tweeted schedules for the week, so I'm gonna be doing Monday through Thursday this week, and then I'm gonna be doing Friday. We're gonna be doing just a regular donation deck list stream, and then Claim. Okay, yep, sure, that's hot. We have another discard spell. God bless it. I think we're dead. I guess we could just rip another Ascendancy naturally. I guess we have Noxious Revivals in our deck too. Do I want to just play Nagging Thoughts? I think I want to just cast Nagging Thoughts here. Just like start digging. Grab an Opt, that lets me cantrip more later. Yeah, combo means we're not dead to our dead. That's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, that's fine, exclusive cards. If you want to post a link, that's fine. This could be a Bedlam Reveler coming down. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another discard spell? God, that's gross. I guess it could be a Fatal Push too. Could be a Delve creature maybe? Weird. What a strange amalgamation of cards. Sure. It's a big angry fish, chat. All right, if we draw Jeskai Ascendancy, we probably kill them. Tilt. This doesn't actually do anything for us, right? I guess Mystic Enforcer's kind of useful. I guess it's a draw too. I could put it on Sylvan Caryatid. Yeah, the Owl stream's gonna be on Sunday. That's probably just slow, right? I think it's too slow. I think I just have to bottom this. I just don't have time. If I had another Jeskai Ascendancy in my board, that would have been great, but I don't, so we can't. Ascendancy on top of my deck. All right, let's bottom this, top this, and then hopefully they have bricks in their hand. I'm gonna hold these lands in my hand because I want to be able to loot them away. Yep, yeah, I'll let you know after the stream. We need to dodge lightning bolts here. We need to dodge discard spells. There's a lot of things that kill us here. So we're gonna block the Pyromancer and go to 2 here, and if they kill us with a bolt, they kill us with the bolt. Hopefully they just flash back Lingering Souls. Here's hoping they brick. They discarded 2 lands, so hopefully they just got another brick in their hand here. Yeah, all this stuff will go on YouTube as always. All the stuff will go on YouTube as always. Yeah, I guess it's technically correct to wait till my upkeep to play it. Even if it feels slow, it is a roll. Alright, I'm gonna put in the Leyline of Sanctities. I'm gonna cut some Noble Hierarchs. God, we had three Noxious Revivals in this build too. Had a lot of live draws there. The Owl stream start, all the details are on my schedule. If you click schedule down below. I think we definitely want these ley lines. I think I want to trim Nobles and Opt and a Noxious Revival. I think that's what I want to do. So remember, we are Glittering Wish deck. So all of these cards are in our deck game 1. So I'm leaving these in my board so I can wish for them with Glittering Wish. Yeah, Stream Decker is being slow, sorry. Literally just can't update it. It's just sitting here as a spinning wheel for me, so apologies for that. If you go to my Twitter, jeffhoagland.com or twitter.com/jeffhoagland, I tweeted a deck list. Yep, it's just sitting there spinning. This hand is great. It needs some more lands, but we can actually turn this Noxious Revival into a land by putting this Flooded Strand back on top of our deck, which is great. Yes, because of Glittering Wish. If we want access to that card, we'll Glittering Wish for it. I'm probably going to Noxious Revival this to the top of my deck next turn. So we can cast the Sylvan Caryatid. Actually, we can cast the Ascendancy, right? I haven't played Standard, so I don't have an educated or informed opinion on what should or shouldn't be legal there. My bird is dead. Oh, Faithless Looting. Huh. Yes, it is bad to make one of the Decays Maelstrom Pulse. The Abrupt Decays aren't there to wish for. The Abrupt Decays are there so we can, what's the word I'm searching for? The Abrupt Decays are there so we can, board them in against decks like Humans and decks that have the Chalice of the Void. I know they are multicolored, but those are actually there with the intention of being able to board them in. Okay, the decks you just listed, Fiery Justice is fine against, and Fiery Justice is an extra application against decks like Death Shadow and things with larger creatures. So I think Fire Spouts is very narrow. Ivan J11 with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that, as always. Amazon Fun Money is the best way, or subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here, and that includes Amazon Fun Money. Is my bird dead? If my bird's not dead, we could possibly kill them next turn. Why did I play Ascendancy over Sylvan Caryatid? I guess that's a good question, actually. I just kind of wanted to get the Ascendancy on the table in case they had, like, discard spell plus surgical extraction. Yeah, that's why. Because I didn't want to lose the discard spell plus surgical extraction. Gemstone Mine. Alright, so hopefully we'll get to combo here. We need to draw a 1 or 2 mana spell here. So we get to untap this, and then we get to loot. It's a Sleight of Hand. All right, I'm gonna bin the Sylvan Caryatid, so let's start trying to go off here. So we cast the Sleight of Hand. So now because we have 2 Ascendancies, we get to untap our creature. So every spell we cast nets us 2 mana. I have Leyline, sure. Sure. This is why too, because I want 2 Ascendancies in play and I don't really need 2 Mana Dorks in play. No, that's slow and clunky. It's fine, Pinky. I don't want to draw a card like... I don't want to draw a card like Fiery Justice when I don't need it. Because remember, we're not a control deck. Our goal is to be a linear, non-interactive deck. So if I don't need interaction, I don't want to wish for it. So one of the things you're doing when you're playing this deck is mid-combo, you want to always... Can you explain the bottleneck? Yeah, I'm just about to get in there. So you always want to be identifying what your bottleneck is while you're playing the deck. So right now, because I have 2 Jeskai Ascendancies in play, my bottleneck is cards. I need to get a critical mass of cards so I can afford to not brick off. Holy crap, I made the wrong color. God, I was talking... No, wait, I can take this Gemstone Mine. All right, so I almost made a really big mistake here. I made the wrong... I should have made a green mana at some point. Gemstone Mine gets me out of this. So we get to go ahead and untap this. So while and this is a very difficult deck to play, and I'm sitting here talking to chat, so I'm probably going to mess it up at several points. It's been a while since I've played it. So now this is going to go get us a Scarscale Ritual, which allows me to draw 2 more cards. Hey, Ardnal M. Pokol, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. So I'm going to make a green mana while I float with this in case we draw another thing. And I am just going to go ahead and keep looting here because we do have copies of... what's his name in our deck? Fatestitcher, just like that. So we get to draw a free Fatestitcher there, basically. And then we just bricked off and died, didn't we? We just bricked off and died. Fuck. That's really unfortunate. Huh. I guess I should have floated white mana, huh? If I would have floated white mana, I would have been able to cast this Leyline of Sanctity. Oh, I can turn a blue into a white, right? With Fatestitcher. And I'm getting there, chat. I'm getting there. I said it's been a while. I said it's been a while. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna cast the Leyline. We're gonna get there. Alright. Alright. We got him. Almost didn't do it. Almost punted the ball. I mean, this isn't really an all-in combo. You figured it out. Why did the triggers turn into world breakers? Because Magic Online is quality software. That's the TLDR. I like this deck a lot, but the complexity involved and the difficulty in playing it is a big part of why I don't stream with it very often. Because it's very difficult to play. Partly because it's not a very powerful deck, and partly because there's just a lot going on. I think I'm just going to click submit here. Yes, that's because Magic Online is quality software. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Especially on the draw, it might be right to bring in a little bit of interaction for their creatures. And, like, buy us some more time, like the paths at the very least. I think I could see that being okay. I have to, like, trim cantrips, though. I have to, like, trim an opt and trim something else. And you're never ramping yourself with a path. I literally can't update the deck list. Stream Decker is sitting here timing out on me. Literally sitting here watching this spin. All right, the deck list would be updated. This is what's been happening off to the side there. This is what's up. I need to get a better badge. Thanks for the bits, Keto. Literally sitting here watching it spin. That's just a terrible advice. Don't trim ley lines. They're literally here. The opponent's deck's real only way to interact with us is discard. If they're cutting discard against us because they saw ley line, we're probably going to win the game regardless. Probably going to win regardless because cutting discard against our deck is really terrible. Yeah, Leyline is this is exactly like if we're not playing ley lines here, this is just you shouldn't be playing it. What am I cutting? Need one more cut for this other path. Maybe I don't want the other path. Abundant Growth is easier to cast a lot of the time, and it also makes our Gemstone Mines not kill themselves, and also makes it easier to combo with the what's it called? This hand is close. If I didn't have ley lines in my deck, I think I would keep this hand, but because I have ley lines to mulligan to, we're gonna mulligan this. This hand is keepable. Top the crap out of that. We don't have a ley line in it, but the hand is fine, so I'm not gonna go to 6 or go to 4. Yes, 4 wishes is necessary post sideboard. You literally can't win the game without a Jeskai Ascendancy, chat. So you should not board out one of your 7 Jeskai Ascendancies. That is a bad plan. Things that are bad ideas. Boarding out one of the cards you need to win the game. Yeah, the Mystic Enforcer in the sideboard is for a Glittering Wish target. It's so in matches like this, if you flood out a little bit, you can just wish for it and then play it and kill them with it. It's explicitly for Death Shadow. I'd like to win less, please, right? Dear Stream Decker, please let me change my deck list. I'm gonna fetch a basic island here, and oh nope, okay. I wasn't paying attention to what they took. I guess that makes sense since I have 2 Sylvan Caryatids. Maybe they have anger or something. This is probably gonna go get Steam Vents, and then I have most of my colors. Beaumont Courier, all right. The only match and I'm not even sure if this is right, I try cutting Wish against Burn because Burn just kills you so quickly you can't afford to like spend 2 spells to do anything. But the Burn matchup's pretty winnable. People are asking about matchups with this deck. The Burn matchup is terrible. Like Eidolon is just main deck hate. So they don't give you, this deck's very redundant. There's a lot of cantrips in it, has a lot of both of its combo pieces, but this is a Death Shadow. Yeah, probably just dead here. We could just naturally draw into a Jeskai Ascendancy, right? So like that would be great. Ding, fries are done. All right, no discard spell, and then draw lands next turn, and we're good to go. Need to draw a land or a Noxious Revival here. What's going on, folks? God, all right. I had to dodge that too. That's a beating. Could you explain why you like Nagging Thoughts? I'm gonna just link you to my primer. It's gonna, let's do, where is it? We're dead here, so I'm just gonna concede. All right, so blocking there is really terrible because blocking there is a good example of a play to not lose line versus a play to win line. I'm never beating a Temur Battle Rage, so you shouldn't play around Temur Battle Rage. Like saying, so how do I, the question you want to ask yourself is, okay, if I don't block, I lose to Temur Battle Rage, but if I do block, how do I win the game? And if the answer is I actually can't win the game if I block, then you shouldn't block, right? You want to give yourself the best possible chance to win a given match of Magic, as opposed to just like not losing for one extra turn. Chris Wilzik, I subbed for the memes, I stayed for the high quality content. Thank you for the 2-month resubscription and welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. Thank you, everyone that's hanging out here today. Hope everyone had a good weekend, having a good Monday. Here is a link to talking about variations of this deck list and talking about different cards that I like and dislike and some specifics on different cards that I'm playing. The primary difference between the deck list in that article is, and this one, is that one has one more land and doesn't play Noble Hierarchs. This one has a couple extra Noble Hierarchs in it to give you a little bit more consistently fast combos. You can turn 2 and turn 3 people a little bit more often. Don't play around cards you can't beat. Exactly. You need to ask yourself, okay, well, if I play around this card by doing X, can I still win the game? And if you can't win the game, then you shouldn't play around it because you have a line to win the other direction. No. See, Hate Bears is a miserable deck that's really terrible. The Howling Mine deck might not be very competitive, but at least it's fun. At least it's fun. That's what the Howling Mine deck has going for it. Alright, I'm going to turn off Stream Decker because it's just not working. So that way people stop asking. Where are my extensions? There isn't a disable button on this thing. Oh, deactivate. There we go. Yes, Noxious allows you to turn 2 people. Sounds very good. It needs some lands, but it's got cantrips, a mana creature, and a Glittering Wish. Nope, just trying different things. There's a Jeskai Ascendancy, that's sweet. So I don't need this Noble Hierarch. Definitely need a land, pass the turn here. If opponent's playing a counterspell-based deck, those are usually pretty hard for us, especially this configuration. Past iterations of this deck have played copies of Silence in the main to fight through counter magic, but this version does not. No, I really don't enjoy Legacy in its current state. The only reason I played Legacy at the team tournament is because that was the format that I had agreed to play. Like, our Modern player only played Modern, and Matt liked Standard, so if I wanted to play the team tournament, I had to play Modern for the tournament, or had to play Legacy for the tournament. Spell Snare is real bad for us. It's like blue-white control. This matchup's not bad if you have access to Silence in this deck, but without Silence, we're probably more than a little bit of a dog here. I fetched the wrong land, but we're getting rewarded by just drawing another land. This definitely should have been a blue source. Matt played blue-black mid-range. So I'll get this. I'm just going to jam this Jeskai Ascendancy. They have a counterspell. Next turn, they'll have Cryptic Command up, so, like, our chances of this resolving are not going to increase the longer this game goes. Matt went 1-1 in matches that he played, and then had 3 matches where he was still playing, but the game was over. So I played Mono Red Stompy, the Ensnaring Bridge, Blood Moon, Chalice of the Void deck. I'm going to be writing about that deck for Gathering Magic this week for sure. I think we're dead at this point. Maybe they don't have another counterspell. They probably have another counterspell, right? All right, they bottomed a card. That's good for us. I think I just want to play this bird out and then probably play... Maybe I should have cantripped first, actually, right? Definitely should have cantripped first. Another bird. Okay, that's pretty decent. Yeah, Detention Sphere, Wrath of God didn't feel real bad. We went 2-3 in the tournament. My individual record was 3-2. Our Modern player went 1-4, and then Matt went 1-1 with 3 incompletes. But I think he was winning all of the matches where Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was 1-0 in all of the matches that he didn't get to finish, so, you know, take that for what you will. Probably just not coming back from here. Probably just not coming back from here. I guess I'll cast this, and I'll Glittering Wish for an Ascendancy. Yeah, Kletz only won that match. Yeah, but I was playing Legacy while top was legal when I only finished 3 matches, so I went 2-1-X in that tournament. The team events are okay. One of the WotC pros tweeted something that I think I kind of agree with after having played a bunch of them. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're a team. Like, it really feels kind of disjointed just because, like, you can't really, like, you're all playing these different formats. I'm just going to concede to a counterspell here. We're pretty far gone at this point. And then I really don't have any tools in our sideboard for this matchup. So, like, one of the things that you have to pick and choose, and this is just true of any modern deck, is you have to pick and choose which matches you want to beat and which ones you want to lose to, right? So, like, my sideboard is built to give us a chance against decks playing discard spells and give us a chance to play through against decks that are doing things like playing hate bears like humans with the Abrupt Decays and the Path to Exile. So I don't really have any cards that allow us to play through counter spells. Flank me, Captain, with the brand new Tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. So, going to concede to a Cryptic Command here. Move on with our lives, yep. I mean, the good news is about setting land speed records while conceding our way through leagues is that I get to clear a lot of decks out of the donation queue. Yeah, probably. Like, the unified formats you could test a little bit together. I will be writing my opinions on the Stompy deck for GatheringMagic.com. An article will go up on Friday. I actually wrote most of the article this morning. If you're one of my Twitch subscribers in the Discord server, I'll probably post a preview of the article either tomorrow or Wednesday morning when I get it done. The TLDR is that I think it's an okay metagame deck, but, like, Legacy's still Legacy right now. Yeah, like, Team Unified Standard seems sweet. Like, you all get to work on things together and, like, test as a format. Like a lot of the time it was just like I'd look over at Matt and be like, all right, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, we didn't test Standard because that wasn't my format. I spent time playing Legacy for this tournament. No, I ended up skipping the Classic because we had snow and below freezing weather at the end of March. So we decided to drive home in the daylight rather than drive home after midnight, you know, while the temperatures were below freezing. Seemed like the responsible adult thing to do. How do the words mono blue owl make me feel? I feel like you don't want to cripple yourself further by, like, playing extra bad things. I did write a data article and post on Banned Modern recently. Nick MTG with the $20 donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, refresh my dashboard here and see the message attached to that one. Let's get some Bant Kiki up in here. I want to see some uncastable goblins. Sound good. I will get that at the bottom of the queue. I think this hand is okay. The Topless Miracles deck is fine. The last time we played it on stream. It felt okay. I'm gonna keep this. I've got 2 cantrips. I remember you saying only an idiot would not play Grixis Delver, but you played Stompy. Nope, I'm calling myself an idiot. I decided that I did not feel like playing Delvermere, so I decided to put myself at a strict disadvantage by playing a deck that was worse against the field. I am of the opinion that Magic tournaments don't pay enough money even when you're winning to play a deck that you don't find enjoyable, so rather than play a deck like Grixis Delver that I don't really enjoy playing in Legacy, I found some amusement playing the mono red deck, so I'd much rather play the mono red Stompy deck than play something that I don't find particularly fun. How likely is Deathrite Shaman ban? I don't like to comment on the likeliness of things Wizards of the Coast is to do because they're really inconsistent with how they make decisions. I have no idea what Rekindling Phoenix is. I couldn't tell you the text box on that card. The Grixis Delvermere is not enjoyable in my experience playing the deck in the matchups. Counter? What? What is happening? What? Sure? I guess? That feels bad. That feels bad. That card is modern legal, right? Alright, yeah, Jeskai Ascendancy, I guess. Pass the turn. Modern staple counterbalance, right? Right? Lordy, lordy. Alright, I'm just gonna jam this Ascendancy into play and hope for the best here. Believe it or not, having access to a counter spell is not what makes blue-black fairies unplayable in Modern. Oh, I should have taken the Fatestitcher there, right? Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have taken the Fatestitcher. I need a mana creature. It's been a while. 10 out of 10 should have taken the Fatestitcher there. This is a pretty big mistake. You have to have a disenchant. Okay. Alright. Alright. Hey, Bionic Broccoli. Thank you for the 3-month big resub. I appreciate that. Let me know what you got planned. Noxious Revival and a Jeskai Ascendancy here. Oh, I could have just flooped that back on top of my deck, right? I have a Field of Ruin on top. All right, so let's go top. You guys want to go top here? So let's do this. I'm gonna make red and white. I'll play this. I'm gonna hold on to this island so that way I can have something extra to loot away later, potentially. Pass the turn here. If we have time, we're probably gonna have time to get to Temur Kiki tonight. We're likely gonna have time to get to Temur Kiki tonight. I assume they're gonna fetch with this Flooded Strand here in between. Glittering Wish is a really good draw here because it would let us kill this Detention Sphere, which would be nice. I'm gonna discard. What are these counters on? Are these both on one? That's annoying. We know they have a Detention Sphere on top of their deck. I probably should have put this island into play. Guess I'm going to see enough cards I could probably hit another land here. Need to do this plus the Serum Visions. Famous last words. Maybe that was a little greedy. It's probably a little greedy. Yeah. Alright. So there's a D-Sphere on top of my deck. Watch for days she get a pet owl. I don't make commitments like that I can't guarantee keep. So that's something I'd have to do a bunch of research on. I'm basically just like looking for lands here, right? I wonder what the last 3 cards are. It depends on what country you're in for being able to watch ads. Alright, let's cast this, see how it goes. Counterbalances continue to not do much. Oh, we're gonna get Field of Runes here. I don't actually have a basic land in my deck. Tilt. Man, I'm gonna run out of tickets today if we keep running this good. Alright, before we head back into the firing hall, I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for joining us here. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer. We get dumpstered here on Twitch like it's my job, because it is my job. If you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch. That money allows me to continue getting dumpstered full-time like we do. If you're someone who has Amazon Prime and you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime for free. And Twitch Prime allows you to get a free subscription to a channel of your choice every single month. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it still supports my content the same. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix and you. Anaronix likes to remind you at the very least, make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what, so you can get notifications on what decks I'm playing that day. If you can't catch my streams live, you can also check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. All of my streams get archived there, and I break them up by deck and by format, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. For instance, if you want to see this deck played some more and you want to see us actually win a couple of matches, there's a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel of me playing this deck from earlier this year. It was a deck that we played a lot. It tuned it a good bit. This deck's moderately powerful. I think we hit the rough end, a couple of bad beats so far today. But we've got 3 more matches here, so hopefully we can rally it back and maybe win a few. Maybe win a few, draw some cards, cantrip some things, attack with some giants. Do you have the day planned for the 12-hour owl stream? Yep, the 12-hour owl stream is going to be on this Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 1st. No, that is not an April Fool's joke. When am I going to play Modern Charbelcher? If it's not in the donation queue, we're probably not playing it anytime soon. If it is in the donation queue, you can take a look at how many points it has and then figure out how soon it is that we're going to get a chance to play it. This hand is very, very good. It needs a couple more lands, Gemstone Mines. It's a little scary, but depending on what our opponent's playing, we do have a very quick combo hand here. I mean, our opponent cast a counterbalance, but they effectively just let them shuffle their deck twice. You can type !! donation queue in chat to take a peek at what's in the donation queue. Hey, Dirty Trevor. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime support. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way this month. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. Drawing a non-Gemstone Mine land is fantastic. Hopefully opponent like taps out for Search for Azcanta 2 here, and we just get to like jam Jeskai Ascendancy. Ding, sweet. They don't have a way to kill this or this. We'll probably kill them on our 3rd turn. Another blue-white control deck. And this is again why, you know, it's tough. It's tough to metagame in Modern. Like, I made a conscious decision to not have cards in my deck towards beating counterspell-based decks, and we've played against 2 counterspell-based decks in this league. There aren't that many decks that play counterspells in Modern, and I chose to try and dodge them, and we're hitting the bad end of that for sure. The Pyro deck ran very, very poorly. Good solid mix of bad matchups and bad luck in reasonable matchups. I have a Detention Sphere. That would be sad. Please be searched for Azcanta. Please be searched for Azcanta. Spreading Seas. Deal. No, if there was something I thought you could reasonably do to make those matches better, I would have done that. I don't really know. I always feel awkward when people ask me questions like that. Is there a thing you didn't do that could have made your deck better? I'm always like, no, there wasn't a thing I could do that could have made my deck better. So my opponent pathing here during my upkeep is gonna give me a chance to get some triggers with this Jeskai Ascendancy to potentially find a Fatestitcher. So we're looking for a Fatestitcher to kill them here. We're looking for a Fatestitcher. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep my instance here because they let me continuing looking during my upkeep. Yeah, so yeah, that's free. So remember, these 1-mana instants are free to cast because my bird gets untapped. You do not get anything extra for being on camera at SCG. Just the joy of doing it. We've already gotten a pile of democracy towards the owl meme in general, so... Alright, well, let's just keep going here. Let's just keep going. Continue looting. We're looking for a Fatestitcher here. Fatestitcher would allow me to... kill them this turn, most likely. Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna have an article on Gathering Magic talking about the deck lists and cards I played and why I played them. Alright, so we're gonna need to draw one more card here. This Abundant Growth is pretty important. I think I'm gonna bin this Noxious Revival here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a green mana here, and then go ahead and untap this and draw a card. We're still bricking and dying. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, you're bad against bird. No, I didn't say you're bad against discard and counterspell decks. You should listen to the words that I say. I said that you have to pick which decks you want to have game against. So basically, there's 3 types of disruption in Modern. There's permanent-based disruption, like humans, meddling mages, and Kitesail freebooters, and Chalice of the Voids. There's counterspell-based disruptions, like these decks like Blue-White Control and Jeskai Control and Blue Moon. And there's discard-based disruption decks, like Jund and Pyromancer. I've chosen to dedicate sideboard slots in my deck towards beating discard-based decks and permanent-based disruption decks. There just aren't enough sideboard slots with our Glittering Wish package in order to have a chance to beat all 3 reasonably. If you dedicate slots trying to beat all 3, you're going to just lose yourself games by not having enough tools for other things. So remember, Modern's a format where there's lots of different competitively viable decks. Regardless of what deck you're playing, you're going to be picking and choosing what decks you want to be strong against and which decks you're going to be poor against. Drawing Sylvan Caryatid was very good here. That puts us in a very reasonable position to be able to win the game next turn. We need a mana creature to be able to win the game, for those that aren't familiar with this deck. Cast Jeskai Ascendancy here. Could untap my dork. If they mana leak us here, we're going to make an extra mana in response, so we'll go ahead and cast Manamorphose. So Manamorphose actually nets us a mana because it costs 2 mana, but it untaps our creature, which lets us make a 3rd mana. So this is going to make 2 mana here. And then I can go ahead and pay for this mana leak. And then this is going to get untapped here. And we'll loot. This is going to come into play. Cast Sleight of Hand. And now we're statistically very unlikely to lose from here. We could there is a chance we could brick and die, but it's pretty unlikely that we brick and die at this point. Opponent agrees with my assessment. Pretty unlikely to brick and die from here. So the way we actually kill them with Sylvan Caryatid, for those that aren't familiar with this deck, is we make Sylvan Caryatid very large by casting spells with Jeskai Ascendancy, and then we cast Glittering Wish, and we grab Flesh Blood, and we blood to kill them. I think Blue Moon is a deck that's just kind of underpowered in Modern in general. I think because Blue Moon is a deck that isn't particularly powerful, it just doesn't see a lot of play by a lot of competitive players. And with the few people that are interested in playing Blue Moon, they're split on whether or not they want to play a fair Blue Moon deck or whether or not they want to play a combo Blue Moon deck. And then which combo Blue Moon deck are you playing varies from person to person depending on who you talk to. Some of them like Madcap Experiment, some of them like Through the Breach, some of them like Kiki Jiki. Now, Loxodon Spider sounds pretty terrible. That sounds pretty bad. And again, I'm just going to click submit here because my deck is not constructed in a way. I have one Guttural Response in my sideboard to wish for, because sometimes one Guttural Response can let you beat the counterspell decks. But I think just trying to like beep beep, go fast in our combo Jeep is our best chance in these matchups with this configuration that I have. The deck list is not currently posted because Stream Decker has been down and it wasn't allowing me to update it. So apologies for that, but it's outside of my control. What's your opinion on Temur Scapeshift? I think it's much worse than the 4-color Bring to Light Scapeshift. Ascendancy? 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 Tilt. Alright, so I'm gonna fetch a Steam Vents here, I think. Yep. Cast Sleight of Hand, grab a Serum Visions, so we don't have a choice. Cast this. I'm gonna go bottom here. We're just looking for a Jeskai Ascendancy. You could maybe make an argument that I should keep the Sylvan Caryatid just because they can kill my Noble Hierarch, but I think I'd just rather dig aggressively here. Depending on 4-color Bring to Light versus Red-Green Titan Shift. I think Red-Green Titan Shift is probably the better Modern deck, but I also think Red-Green Titan Shift is exceedingly boring and dry to play, and you would never... I have to be paid a pretty significant amount of money to play Red-Green Titan Shift in a tournament. The deck is just super linear. It does the same thing every game, but it's just like very boring. It doesn't have very interesting lines in my experience. What are we doing? Is the Wall of Omens? Spreading Seas, sure. My opinion on Disrupting Shoal. You should watch the video for my opinion on Disrupting Shoal, and if you want a TLDR, you should skip to the end of the video. I always give a TLDR at the very end of videos on what I think about things. That is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. So, white, blue, red, play this Jeskai Ascendancy, pass the turn. Yeah, I actually don't mind playing Burn. I think Burn's kind of fun. Jeskai, the what's it called deck, just like, it's really dry. Burn, sometimes you get to kill their creatures and stuff like that and make those type of decisions, and the Ascendancy, the other deck just really never does that. Does things like that. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna play this Noble Hierarch and pass the turn. I do have an Arena account, and I did claim Jeff Hoagland on it. I played very few actual games. I just logged in to make sure I could claim my name as a username. in the event that they ever added modern or anything to it. Literally played Hex this morning. Literally played Hex this morning. Oh, Twitch chat. I don't know. That's a good question. Has he claimed Boohooglin? That's... I'd assume. I'm gonna bottom that. Ooh, Glittering Wish. Do I want to jam Glittering Wish here? I don't think I do. I think I'm gonna pass. Literally all of my streams get archived on my YouTube channel. You could like open my YouTube account right now and go, oh look, Jeff's played Hex this morning, and he played Hex on Friday, and he played Hex on Life is a lot easier when you learn to help yourself. Just like do a quick Google search. Poke around at the common places you could find information. I don't know, some of the crappy pre-constructed decks. Yeah, Hallowed One's a fine donation deck list. Anything that's like pretty close to tier 1 that isn't like Lantern or Red-Green Valakut is fine donation deck. No, I haven't. I'm not even into Cosmic. So, like, we're still playing against, like, a lot of decks that just, like, aren't real decks. Man, these Noble Hierarchs are going the distance. Going the distance. Fun fact. Anyone who you think is good at IT, they're not actually naturally talented with computers. They're just good at looking things up online. That's the dirty secret about being an IT person. You know how to read an instruction manual and how to find an instruction manual on the internet. Christmas tree stream from 2016. That's not even true. That's not even true. Google 2016 holiday Christmas special. Right there. Right there. Google search. Got it. Alright. Our deck only has 16 lands in it, chat. Our deck only has 16 lands in it. Alright, they have this flipped. So I'm just jamming this at this point because this is flipped, so if they don't have a counterspell already, they're gonna just have more counterspells as it goes on. Hogo just summed up my 4-year Cisco certificate, right? I remember I worked as a business analyst or a systems analyst at a major insurance company. And I remember helping people with things and like, they'd literally come to my desk and I'd just be like Googling it right in front of them. And they'd just be like, oh, you're so helpful and you know so much. I'm like, did you not just watch me look up the answer to the question for you, like right in front of you? Like, it's like, oh, jeez. What does this hand do? This hand doesn't do enough, right? We're looking for just like a fast combo hand here, and this hand has neither of our combo pieces in it, doesn't have a mana creature, and doesn't have an ascendancy in it. Has lands and cantrips. Okay, this doesn't have a an ascendancy in it, but it's got a perfect. Ding. Ding. That's what we wanted for Christmas, chat, right there, that one. All right, extra Caryatid. Huh. I'm gonna top these, just in case they're able to interact with my Caryatid. Is that how I met Christy? Christy and I met through Boy Scouts when I was 16. It was a long time ago. Steam vents here. Venture Crew, yep. Yep. The 2016 Hogla Christmas special is gonna go through the roof, right? I mean, they're not. We're not playing this deck to not go for it, chat. Get Mana Leak negated and feel real bad, but that's what it is. I am not an Eagle Scout. I think I went as far as Star in traditional scouting. And then it gets difficult to do. Just, you know, there's only so much time in the day. You change from Eagle Scout to Owl Scout. Looking for an Ascendancy. I'm gonna keep that. It gives me extra looks in Ascendancy. This is technically free because it untaps the mana creature. Dispel, Tilt. We're probably dead at this point. Like I said, without silence in these matchups, when we have access to silence in our deck, we can often wait and overload our opponent in a single turn. But without access to silence, our deck just, like, we can't play enough threats in a single turn, especially with, like, our hand being as terrible as it is here. Just, like, continuing to draw more lands, so it's kind of a rough set for this deck. What a bad Monday. Just an hour, 2 hours into the stream, haven't won a match yet. Okay. Have we really not won a game? No, we won a game. We won a game, thank you. We beat Shadow. We beat Shadow, thank you, in a game. A game of Magic the Gathering. You haven't won a match and you haven't played Hex in weeks. It's a tilt. Rest in peace. I actually don't care about that one. I actually don't really care about that one. Alright, so we're going to end step, use Fatestitcher to diddle a land. And then on my upkeep, we're going to use Fatestitcher to diddle another land. And now we're hoping they have nothing. So I can put Jeskai Ascendancy into play. It looks like they're auto-passing. That's good for me. Unfortunately, I don't have a 1-mana spell here, so I can't actually do anything. If we had a 1-mana spell, we could have started trying to combo, so hopefully they don't have a Disenchant or a Celestial Purge. I have no idea. I don't have experience with blue-white control. I don't think the deck is particularly good. This is a Supreme Verdict. Yep. Alrighty. Hopefully the Sylvan Caryatid resolves next turn. You have a D-Sphere too. Just all of the things? They have too many things, chat! They have too many things! Oh, Geistis ain't trash. Sure. Deal. Alright. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna hold this Gemstone Mine assuming that I'm going to be able to loot it away here. She was a Boy Scout. So there's actually all of Boy Scouts is co-ed now, I believe. But for a long time, there is a branch of Boy Scouts known as Venturing. That's for youth ages 14 to 21. That's always been co-ed. Hopefully their last 2 cards are bricks here. This is a free block because we have hexproof. Need to dodge Wraths and removal on this. If they just have counter spells, we might be able to play through counter spells here. Obviously not Cryptic Command, so they could bounce this. Although I guess if they bounce this, should have played around Temur Battle Rage, right? Maybe they're out of interaction. Mana Leak, Dispel. This is pseudo interaction. This card's not great against us. It like prevents our Fatestitchers from coming into play, but we don't necessarily need Fatestitchers to win the game most of the time. Even if they have like a Disenchant here, we might be able to just like play the second one and then go off with this Manamorphose, depending on how hot the top of our deck is. Maybe they have a Cryptic Command and they're not sure what they want to do with it. They're debating, are we getting Field of Runes? All right, yep. So that was I have a Cryptic Command that I don't know what I want to do with it. Pause. I'm going to start with this Manamorphose. Oh, it turns off Noxious Revival. That's kind of bad for us. Let's make white blue here. Yep. All right. Yeah, well, we're not dead, so that's nice. Next turn we get to cast another Jeskai Ascendancy. Yep. Okay, sweet. So hopefully they're out of interaction, and this other Ascendancy plus our draw step can get us there next turn. They have 1 card left. God bless you, Sylvan Caryatid, and your blocking ability. Could this be it? Could we be getting on the scoreboard, chat? I really would like to get on the scoreboard today. The fact that I played this extra land out might bite us in the butt too, depending on how good our hits are here. So again, you always want to be working towards identifying what your bottleneck is in a given game. So our bottleneck in this game is definitely how many cards we have in our hand. So we're looking for copies of Glittering Wish and Nagging Thoughts because those are cards that allow us to generate extra cards. So we have plenty of mana here because we have, what's the word I'm searching for? We have 2 Jeskai Ascendancies, which gives us plenty of mana. Just gonna keep looting here. Always want to float mana on the in-between here. I'd like to loot. So again, we're looking for copies of Glittering Wish and, what's it called? Glittering Wish and Abundant, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what these cards are called. I'm just gonna keep clicking here. I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna keep clicking. I need to like I'll be back with chat in a minute. Let me just click through this. This combo is also very click intensive. Ugh. Alright, make another mana. Undiddle this. Alright, sweet. It's an abundant growth, I guess. Nagging Thoughts, perfect. So Nagging Thoughts allows us to get ahead in cards because when we discard it to the Ascendancy. We get to cast it for its madness cost. Yeah, looking back on it as an adult, the themes, let's call it, of the Order of the Arrow are kind of disturbing. Yeah, I'd play Spanish Inquisition again. I think Spanish Inquisition's a lot of fun. So I'm actually not going to loot here because we've kind of assembled a pretty critical mass of cards, and I would prefer it if I was only discarding bad cards at this point, like this Flooded Strand. So I actually want to get set up at this point to where I have 2 Glittering Wishes the turn I go off, because I would like to, just in case their last card's another counterspell, I don't want to get my Flesh Blood discarded. So ideally we'll get a Glittering Wish, and it looks like I'm going to be able to draw through most of my deck here. Looks like I'm going to have the tools to do that. All right, so that's another Glittering Wish. I would love... Jeskai Ascendancy is fine, probably. So I have enough to do everything at this point, right? Is there another Glittering Wish in my deck still? There is. We do have a Hoogle Owl emote, in fact. We do, in fact, have a Hoogle Owl emote at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and cast this first Glittering Wish. Well, you can't wish for Grape Shot, and you don't need a Grape Shot. Yeah, so you can't wish for Grape Shot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wish for the card Flesh Blood. And I get that Grape Shot lets you win through a single counter spell, but you can't wish for a Grape Shot. This doesn't get any card. It only gets multicolored cards. No, well, this can't attack, Brad. So we're going to kill them with... So what I was going to do here before our opponent conceded was this Glittering Wish was going to get Guttural Response so we could stop a counterspell. And then this Glittering Wish was going to get Flesh Blood to kill them. We are on the scoreboard, chat. This is good. It feels good. I'm feeling a little bit revitalized. We got some Hoogle Hoots there in chat. Let's try and 3-2 a league, shall we? Oh, gain 4. Sure, yeah, you're right. Should definitely do enough to kill them through a gain 4. That is a solid piece of advice for Blessed Alliance's modal. Stream Decker is still not working as far as I'm aware. The My Deck thing just sits here and spins. Which is why the widget is disabled currently. We'd love to play first. This hand's okay. It's a little bit mana heavy, but like if we hit a Jeskai Ascendancy, we could actually turn to them. That is the actual greatest emote. It's pretty great. I agree. I agree that it's pretty fantastic. I think this is just fetching Breeding Pool. The fact that I have Island makes Breeding Pool slightly worse, so maybe I'm going to fetch Temple Garden here. I'm going to fetch Temple Garden. Why should I play Gifts? Instead of me making an argument on why I'm not playing Gifts, you make an argument on why I should play Gifts. What problem do you envision this deck having that playing the card Gifts Ungiven solves for me? That's good deck building. That's what I want to ask myself. What problem do I have that playing the card you're suggesting I'm playing solves? So because we have 2 mana creatures in this Noxious Revival, we can actually Glittering Wish for Jeskai Ascendancy and play it and then start comboing next turn. So hopefully they tap out for something stupid on 2 and then we kill them on 3. All right, I'm gonna give you a 10-minute timeout because you didn't give me anything useful. What problem do we have that adding the card you're suggesting we add to the deck fixes? That's, I'm looking for constructive, specific feedback. They're auto-passing. All right, well, I'm gonna put this Windswept Teeth on top of their deck and try and start comboing here. We definitely could brick off. We don't have a ton of cards here, so yeah, if we draw a few too many lands here, we could be in a little bit of trouble, but we could definitely have a chance to kill them here. We're not playing a deck to not go for it. So we get 2 shots at another spell here. Sleight of Hand, that's sweet. All right, so this is gonna make blue, green. Perfect. Let's Let's make blue, white, cast the Sleight of Hand. And again, you're always looking to identify what your bottleneck is in a given game. So our bottleneck right now is cards. So we're looking for Nagging Thoughts and Glittering Wishes and all sorts of other stuff to allow us to start generating some actual cards. But I mean, that's not actually a realistic problem that we have. Like, the games we're playing, we're not losing because we're running out of cards. We're losing because we can't keep Jeskai Ascendancies on the table, and we're losing because we're getting discarded and stuff like that. So again, the question is always, what problem do we have that we're solving by making a suggested change? I'm playing 2 copies of Nagging Thoughts. I think Nagging Thoughts is very good. Not only is it good when you're comboing, but like it's still an okay card when you're not comboing, right? And that's the reason why it's very good. I think we might be doing it. We're definitely not in the 100% range at this point. Like, we definitely are in a position where if we run bad enough here, we could brick and die, but we're definitely getting ourselves into a position where bricking and dying will not be an option. Like, the first Glittering Wish we find will probably mean we can't brick and die. We actually don't really need another Jeskai Ascendancy at this point. Leave the Manamorphose on top. Hitting a Fatestitcher is great because it lets us loot this away for free. Generally speaking, your bottleneck is going to be the amount of cards you have. There are some situations you get in where we're not generating enough mana and we're going to be choked on mana because we drew too many 1-mana cards. Or too many 2-mana cards, but generally speaking, your bottleneck is going to be cards. Occasionally, it's not going to be, and when it's not, you need to identify that and try and play towards... This deck is much easier to pilot on Magic Online than in paper. I agree with that assessment. Let's make red mana, make green mana. We have infinite mana here at this point, essentially. We have arbitrarily... We might not even need to combo fully to win this game. Do I just want to play this other Jeskai Ascendancy just to kill them that way? Because we can just win through combat, too. No, I don't play View from Above. Can you explain my 2 copies of Nagging Thoughts? I read a series, and it makes it seem like 2 is almost always the wrong number. Can you explain? Well, this deck sees a lot of cards in it. So, again, when you're comboing, you're drawing a lot of cards. So, if you're seeing a lot of cards, you don't need to play a lot of copies of cards you want to see in order to win the game. So, like, a Nagging Thoughts is often a card I want to see in order to break the bottleneck of not having enough cards. But at the same time, what's the word I'm searching for? We don't really want to draw it too often when we're not comboing. Fleshblood is probably safer. Sure, it is, but, like, we might not actually have enough. We might not have the option to Fleshblood them, is what my point. All right. My opponent done here. My opponent's seen enough. Opponent has seen enough. All right, so the opponent's deck is could be anything. Green-white stuff the no play on 1 or 2 makes me think that maybe they're not a company deck. Maybe they just like this kind of medium hand that kept a slower one. We played Mardu Pyromancer so far, so I try to list the decks in the order that we're playing them in the stream title. So I think I want Abrupt Decay. Oh, it could be the Todd Stevens deck. Yeah, you're right. That's a deck that could keep a bunch of dirt, will do nothing. I think I want these Path to Exiles and these Abrupt Decays, and I think I'm going to board out these Noxious Revivals, because I think there's a non-zero chance my opponent boards in Graveyard Hate. Yeah, probably. Yeah, almost certainly. All roads led to Rome. All roads led to Rome there. But yeah, you're right. It is technically correct to wait. So I'm not 100% sure what they're doing, so I'm not going to board in the second path. I think I'm just going to board in Decay, Path to Exile. Yeah, maybe I want the other path. They're almost certainly a creature deck, right? Like, what are the odds they're not a creature-based disruption deck? What do we think? I feel like they're almost certainly an Eidolon of Rhetoric, Godok Teague style deck, right? Yeah, it could be green-white unplayables. I feel like I don't need, like, we just have so many cantrips. Yeah, I'm just going to board in 3 anti-hate cards for 3 Noxious Revival. And if they have, like, a ton of hate bears, we'll bring in the second path, the 4th way to kill it for the next one. The Mardu deck didn't win a game. The Mardu deck did not win a game. It was not pretty. It's uploading to YouTube. It'll get published tonight when we're done, as always. It could be Bantfall. This is that new arena game. I've got the modern skin pack. Or one copy of View from Beyond to limit the bottleneck on Chew Dork, and it saves a ton of time while comboing. It's I'm glad you finished that. I think it's win more. I think if you want an infinite combo in this deck, you should play the 2 reclaims in the sideboard. You should play the 2 reclaims in the sideboard. The Owl stream was going to be happening on Sunday. The deck list is not there because Stream Decker is not currently working. It is not letting me select the deck from my list of decks. This hand's very good. It's got a turn 1 Noble Hierarch. It's got a turn 2 Jeskai Ascendancy. Some kind of Naya thing. Could be probably Bant Nightfall. Green-white unplayables is what we refer to the green-white Value Town deck here on this stream, because I'm really not a fan of that deck. Yep. They must have pieces of hate in their hand, right? No, not humans. They have Stomping Ground. Yeah, they showed us, they showed us last game that I'm thinking of. Hopefully we can dodge removal for this. I think I'm just getting, I have to get Steam Vents here, right? Because I don't actually have red mana otherwise. So this will get blue, this will get red, this will make white, cast this, say go. Yeah, it's probably the Nightfall deck with Bloodbraid Elf. Hopefully it's just a BBE and then we untap and kill them. Hopefully we just killed them on our untap now. We have Fatestitcher here also. Alright. Alright, so we have most of the tools we need to deal lethal here. Yeah, you put two reclaims in your board. I just like that the reclaim in the sideboard has utility when you don't need it to combo, is the reason why I really like the reclaim. Yeah, I agree. The green-white Value Town has a ton of creature cards that I love playing in it, but I agree that it feels weak compared to other decks that I can be playing in Modern. So, opponent is hopefully dead at this point. We could statistically brick, but we're pretty unlikely. We've got plenty of mana, and Glittering Wish means that we're going to have plenty of cards as well. Look at how powerful... This Bloodbraid... I saw some idiot arguing on Twitter that they thought Bloodbraid Elf needed to go back on the ban list. I was just like, oh, God. People are the worst. People are the worst. Did we have 2 turn 3 kills this match? We did, didn't we? Feels good, man. Feels good. Fair and balanced. This deck is like the Fox News of Modern decks, really. Just super fair, super balanced. Hey, according to Ben, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. I do appreciate that. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm pretty adamant that Kiki Chord's not very good, and I just enjoy playing it, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with playing decks that you enjoy. Like, Modern is very much a format about you should play the decks that you enjoy playing. Is Flametongue Kavu... I really wish Flametongue Kavu was Modern legal. Is there anything you'd ban or unban in Modern and why? It's funny, we actually went through the ban list while we were driving home from the opponent has had enough. IA Kupo with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way this month. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do we have a list for this combo? There's a list on my Twitter. There's a list on my Twitter, and the deck list will be posted underneath my YouTube video tonight. Sorry that Stream Decker is not currently working. Yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Let's run it back into a 3-2, right? I like this deck a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very powerful. I think it has a lot of play to it and a lot of matchups. God, this is such a good Hearthstone hand. Unfortunately, our deck needs land, though, so we're going to mulligan. This hand's not super exciting, but it's fine. It wasn't pretty, Griffinson. I forgot that was your donation deck, Griffinson. We didn't win a game. We didn't win a game. We went 0-6 in games. All right. I kind of want this Ascendancy. I have this Glittering Wish. So the joke, for those of you that are new to the stream, everything Griffinson donates for, we just get slaughtered while we play it. I was excited he picked the Mardu Pyromancer deck because I was like, sweet, we're going to cash the league with the deck Griffinson donated for. It just completely rich. I'd completely forgotten that you were the reason, you were the one that donated for that deck. So I think I'm going to bottom this because Glittering Wish gets Ascendancy, and this hand needs lands and mana creatures still. So I'm going to bottom that because this hand already needs two things. So I'm going to shock this in. We need green mana and we need mana creatures. There's green mana. There's a mana creature. It's just like we drew it up, chat. It is just like we drew it up. I'm actually going to bottom this Sleight of Hand because I prefer to draw another land here, I think. And it's looking like we're definitely going to have time to get to some more decks today because we're only 2.5 hours into the stream and we're already through almost 2 of the decks that we played. Humans. This matchup is hard but winnable. So this is not an easy matchup by any stretch, but it's definitely one that we are capable of winning. I'm gonna go ahead and Abundant Growth this Hallowed Fountain and then play this Noble Hierarch. Perfect. We drew a land. I think having Counterspell in Modern doesn't solve any of the problems the control decks have in the format. Losing quickly is great for climbing through the donation queue. Look, it's all upside here. Either we win and we're doing well, or we lose and we burn through decks in the donation queue. Anemic means weak or sickly. This matchup is a bit of a race. Game 1 especially is a little bit difficult for us because our opponent has a lot of disruption and we don't have a ton of ways to kill their stuff. The worst is that that's true. It's 0-2. It's the 2-3 because we neither cashed nor... Yep. All right, so there's the Ascendancy on top. And actually, Ascendancy being on top of our deck is the best place it can be here because they can't kite sail it next turn. They can't kite sail it next turn. So here's hoping they just play Mantis Rider here and attack us, and then we untap and kill them. Please Mantis Rider me so I can untap and kill you. Ugh, that's bad for us. So that is going to bounce my Noble Hierarch, which means that I get to play the Ascendancy. It's non-creature, right? Non-creature, non-land, yep. So I'm gonna play this. This has to get a shock land, which is bad for me, but I don't have an option not to because I need to cast Noble Hierarch and Jeskai Ascendancy this turn. Oh, I can't recast it because of Reflector Mage. Right. I knew that. Yep. All right, if I take lethal here, I should have just fetched an island. There. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not just dead. We are not just dead. We are not just dead by any stretch of the imagination. We can hit a Fatestitcher, and we get a lot of looks at a Fatestitcher here. Noble Hierarch, sure. So if we don't die this turn, I get some loots into a Fatestitcher. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna cast Opt here, just in case they name it, in case they're ghosting. Okay. Looking for a Fatestitcher. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to 2. Yeah, it doesn't do anything impressive. Doesn't do anything impressive. They saw a Sleight of Hand, did they? Fatestitcher. 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 Please. Please, I need a Fatestitcher. None of these cards are good for me. Alright, so I have to hit Fatestitcher on the loot from the Serum Visions. If I hit Fatestitcher on the loot from the Serum Visions, we could win the game. This is the first game I've been looking for a Fatestitcher. Literally the first. I didn't discard the Nagging Thoughts because tapping all of my mana means I can no longer win the game. I need mana in order to cast spells to start getting my combo going. So Path to Exiles and Abrupt Decays come in. We're going to trim Noxious Revivals here, I think. And an Opt. Yeah, let's do that. So in order to actually get going, we had to win that turn because we were dead on board. So if we discarded the Nagging Thoughts and paid mana for it, couldn't you hit land plus Fatestitcher to Nagging Thoughts? Oh yeah, I do get more looks if I Nagging Thoughts. All right, take a 10-minute timeout for laughing at me. If you wanna give me, see, like, that was good specific feedback. You had a land drop so you could discard it. That's good specific feedback. That's great. Yeah, Fiery Justice is a wish target. It allows us to use our Glittering Wishes as board control. This hand is very good. Very, very good. Fiery Justice is in the board to Glittering Wish for, chat. We're playing Glittering Wish, chat. The extra cards are in the sideboard to Glittering Wish for. Shadow of Doubt does seem cute in the Owling Mine deck, doesn't it? Huh. Huh. It does actually seem kind of adorable. And then, if they don't have a disruptive card next turn, we actually get to kill them. Most likely. We most likely get to kill them. To go land, Ascendancy, start playing 1-mana things. So I assume this is going to name Jeskai Ascendancy. And then we'll path this and then play the Ascendancy. So get you out of here. And that's why this hand was so good, right? Not only did we have both of our combo pieces, but like we had anti-hate as well. Shadow of a Doubt allows you to generate tempo by taking your opponent off their fetch lands effectively. We're not a control deck. We have to combo kill. Our things that kill our opponent's cards are there to are not there to control the board. They're there to keep them from... What the fuck does that do? Seriously? War Priest of Thune? Ugh. Well, I was about to say we don't really care about Thalia, we get to kill them here, but that's not true anymore. That's a beating. That's What is that even good against that their deck is bad against? It beats Worship? Okay, that makes sense. It's a way to beat Worship. Okay, I'd buy that. Now, the Humans deck mostly doesn't care about... You have to have a lot of them to beat Bogles, right? I believe we're just dead at this point. I believe we're just dead. I top 8'd the SCG. I'm just gonna start telling people that. Just like, how'd you do at the tournament I could look up the result of? I don't know. You could look it up. A little bit too slow. Our hand was very good, but we weren't beating 3 hate cards. Yep. All right. This matchup's... We have the tools to win this matchup, but usually they can't take our Ascendancy off the table, and War Priest of Doom was very, very good. War Priest of Doom was very, very good. No, I didn't play the Classic. Did not. We ended up driving home early because the weather was bad the previous day. I want to make sure the roads were clear. Jeskai Ascendancy. I don't know. I think so. One of the things I wasn't sure on before was, yeah, but I didn't have any single card that allowed me to win the game, Vico. So like, it doesn't do anything. Like I didn't have any single card to let me win the game. That was the actual stone worst league result. At least when we 0-3, we get through the donation deck list quickly. But when we 2-3, we both don't make any money, and we took forever. I feel like these Noxious Revivals might be too many. Maybe some main deck silences could be good in this. The Noble Hierarchs were very good in that league. The more I play, it's been a while since we've played this deck, but the more I played with the Noble Hierarchs, the more I'm pretty convinced that I just like having more mana creatures in the deck. Just like having more fast and consistent combo starts is pretty good. I don't know that I really have any super constructive feedback on like what you should or shouldn't do differently with this deck. Like I mentioned earlier a couple times in this league, you kind of pick and choose like what decks you want to beat. So like I'm pretty sure that this is the bare minimum. You need these 5 cards in your wish package if you're playing this deck. These are kind of extra slots that could be in your wish package or they could be something else. These 4 cards are for beating discard decks. These 4 cards are for beating humans and creature-based decks. So if you want to have more game against decks with counterspells, like we played against counterspells twice in that league, you could play copies of Silence, you could play copies of Dispel, you could play more copies of Guttural Response. So like you can kind of swap around like your anti-hate or your anti-disruption cards to like change to be whatever you want to beat in a particular league or event that you're playing or local shop where you're playing the deck list. The problem with Taigan scheming is that it's negative cards and you really can't afford negative cards. Like if you go back and watch the league and count how many times I say, well, our bottleneck this game is how many cards we can draw, Taigan scheming does the opposite of that. You think of Dark Blast to dredge a Fatestitcher. I think trying to dredge Fatestitcher is just silly. I think you'd rather just like, if you want more Fatestitcher, you should just play more Fatestitcher. You shouldn't play bad cards like Dark Blast. The $7 pizzas weren't terrible. I've definitely paid worse money than I did for that $7 pizza. All right, I'm fat. I've been sitting for a while. Let's stand up. Enjoy the ride, chat. All right, what are we doing next? What did I say? We're gonna play Espergorio. I'm actually kind of excited to try the Espergorio deck. Actually kind of excited to try the Espergorio deck. This deck looks sweet. Oh, there's a Scarab God in the sideboard. I definitely missed the fact that there was a Scarab God in the sideboard. So Ideas Unbound I don't like in the Ascendancy deck list because Ideas Unbound is really good only when you're comboing. And Nagging Thoughts is really good only when you're comboing. It's similarly good. And Nagging Thoughts is much better when you're not comboing. So let's do the Ghost Dad, shall we?